Hey guys, it's Goosebumps Completionist, and today I'm bringing you my Dr. Maniac franchise ranking. So today we're going to look at all three Dr. Maniac books. Dr. Maniac versus Robbie Schwartz, Dr. Maniac Will See You Now, and They Call Me the Night Howler. And I'm going to rank them from worst to best. Now, a couple of thoughts before we're getting any further. The Dr. Maniac franchise, to me, is not that good. It's probably one of the weakest franchises in Goosebumps. And what I consider a franchise might be different to some others. Like, you can make an argument that Revenge of the Law Gnomes has a franchise because there's episodes and comic adaptations and stuff. For me, there has to be three different stories of, a titular character, like Dr. Maniac, right? So since there are three books with a minute, that qualifies. And this is probably my least favorite franchise with sequel books and stuff. This is just pretty bad. It's down there with the Monster Blood books. Maybe Say Cheese and Die. I don't know. Say Cheese and Die has, the first book's great. I haven't read the third one, but the second book, oh boy. But this is pretty low. And I'm sorry if you're a Dr. Maniac fan. I just don't like it. I mean, I think I'm way more of a fan of the Masked Mutant. I'd rather have seen that character go on. While we got this is a big perplexing mystery in the history of Goosebumps. Honestly, if I ever got to meet R.L. Stine, I got to ask him a few questions. I want to ask him what was going through his mind when he was creating this character or this concept for this franchise, because it's baffling. It's baffling. All right, but anyways, let's get into the rankings. We're going to rank three books. So in dead last, the worst Dr. Maniac book, in my opinion, goes to Dr. Maniac Will See You Now. Yeah, this book I gave a 1.5 out of 5, which is an F. It's the only F in the franchise, though, but it's a pretty terrible book. It has a lot of the sins that Dr. Maniac versus Robbie Schwartz had. It has this parodic nature, misused tropes, pretty much everything is mishandled here. And what really sets this over for me is every single character being just terrible. Whether it be the handling of the main character, or the complete trash side characters, or the disappointing appearances from the Scarlet Starlet, Dr. Maniac, and the Purple Rage, who weren't as good as they were in the previous book. This is just a huge goose egg all around, and easily one of the worst Goosebumps books of all time. So I don't even have anything else to say about it. I just hate this one. Now this next one, I think, is a decent improvement. I think I gave this one a 3 out of 5, which is a not good but not bad. And that's the first book for Dr. Maniac. This is Dr. Maniac versus Robbie Schwartz. For an introductory book, this is probably the worst introductory book for a franchise character that has like sequels and stuff. I'm baffled that this character went on to 2 other books. I liked the main character Robbie in this. I thought he was pretty good. I like the concept the story was trying to go with. It just kind of fumbled the ball with it, going, from comic strips. He's not a comic book character. He's a comic strip character in this. But you go from comic strip to reality, and, you keep going back and forth, kind of question what's real, what's not real, type of thing. And, I was pretty intrigued. The Purple Rage was introduced here. He was great. He honestly made this book, get the grade it did. I like parts of the story dealing with Robbie, but some of the twists did not do it for me. I legit hate the climax twist. It's terrible. I hate it. I think it ruins the book. And then the ending completely makes the book a big waste of time. It's infuriating. But there's a couple of fun ideas in this one. Some decent scares too. And going back to this book, I don't want to beat this one up too bad. This one does have some good about it. There's a leg scene that's really good. There's a really good, scene with the character Bree. She loses her leg. Purple Rage is kind of funny. There's a couple things about it. And this one, you know, I think has a little more, but for the most part, just kind of lackluster. So, yeah. And then clearly the best one, in my opinion. Now, some people might disagree, some people might agree, but I really enjoyed this one. And this was my first experience. Now, I don't know how I'm going to feel about it if I go back to it at a certain point. I don't know if the book will go down because I don't like the other ones as much, but they call me the Night Howler. This is the best Dr. Maniac book, I think, to date. And I think a lot of it has to deal with the main character, Mason, carrying the narrative. I think the story here is a lot more tangible, a lot more coherent. I like the angle they went in the story, even though I've heard some fans of Nightmare Room, you know, people who like Nightmare Room, people who have read Shadow Girl from that series say that this book's like a dime store version of that. I haven't read it, and I'm assuming that you're probably right on that. But I thought this one was definitely the best concept they've done with the Dr. Maniac character, for sure. I love the twist at the end. You know, it's very thought-provoking. It doesn't go into commentary or anything, but there are some subtext there that I wish the book kind of went deeper on. Kind of explore, and it kind of does, kind of exploring what makes a hero, what makes a villain, but done kind of with the hijinks. You know, the book doesn't really have any standout scenes to make it scary, and that's probably my biggest flaw with it. Everything else, it captures my inner child, and you know, it's kind of harmless. But yeah, I had fun with this one from memory. Like I said, might go down on a reread, but yeah, after one read, I quite like this one. So yeah, this is my thoughts on the Dr. Maniac franchise. Oh boy, what a doozy. So yeah, let me know down in the comments section, what is your favorite Dr. Maniac book? Do you like the Dr. Maniac books? Do you hate the Dr. Maniac books? What's your least favorite? You know, let me know. I want to know. And I'll see you next time.